Gotta bring it straight to their face. Ain't nobody safe. Presence only one first place. Know what that means? This ain't a fight, it's a war. We focus on up in the score. If you think you better than battle, if you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better than battle.
Let's get it.
Only first place finishes, so I seek and destroy every one of my nemesis. My power limitless, and my scorecard is perfect, it don't have no blemishes. No apologies, cause I ain't just my nature that makes me a different type of creature. I'm a bitcher, bonafide gamer. Before you play me, better read the disclaimer. I'm that force to be reckoned with. I know your mama didn't warn you, you shouldn't be messing with. You don't compare to me. We're not the same, there's no similarity. Moment of clarity, you should be scared of me. Run all, you'll never get rid of me. So incredibly outdone. If we go to war, I'm the one you can't outrun.
Only one way. Gotta bring it straight to their face. Ain't nobody safe. Presence only one first place. Know what that means? This ain't a fight, it's a war. We focus on up in the score. If you think you better than battle. If you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better than battle. Just battle. If you really with it, then battle. Just battle. If you think you better, then battle me. When it's time to ball. We back in the field, we ready, it's time. It's nothing but hustle inside of the huddle, you know that I grind. A dangerous smile, a weapon of choice when pushing the line. Go overtime and I won't break when it's crunch time. My end game is number one. Bet it all, give me my cash. Supreme game, can't stop it. Take off like a rocket. Break it back, don't bend mine. I'm the one now, you can't hide. Legendary like legacy. This is our moment, our time.
Our time.
This is our moment. This is our time. Time is now. It's time to rise. This is our moment. This is our time. The time is now. It's time to rise. Yeah. Coming for glory. We ready for war. The city's behind us. We giving you more. We ready whenever. The world is watching. The time is now. No other option. No other way. Play to win the way that we play. Destined for greatness, born to be great, ahead of the game. In front of the pack, leading the way, it's time to reign. The kingdom's here, this is our year. Been to the bottom, ain't nothing to fear, we running the game. Rushing the field, for every yard, on every play. Nobody's safe, rise when we fall, but never stay down. The champs is here, doing it for the 10. This is our moment, this is our time. The time is now, it's time to rise. This is our moment, this is our time. Time is now, time to rise. It's time to rise. This is our time. It's our moment. It's our time. Feet in the dirt, nose to the ground. Like the crack of dawn, you can't stop the shine. moment after moment, day after day. It's our time. Lock and loaded, it's time for war. Ha. Tear it down, kick in the door. Yeah, I want it all, give me some more. Ha. I want it all, give me some more. I want it all, give me some more. Yeah. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war. Like pandemonium, I set it off. Yeah. Sacrifice, I bear the cross. Legendary, I'm a big dog. Hard knock on the front line. Pure blood, my bloodline. Headshots the first time. My aim good, bullseye. Warfare. Don't play fair, don't play fair. You not sure? Don't go there, I'm right here. No fear, I'm ready to go at top speed. No brick wall can block me. No army can stop me. Yeah, I want it all and I can't lose. I came far and I won't stop. This my time, I pay dues. Yeah, it's wartime and I won't retreat. I want it all, give me some more. I kill them all, won't taste defeat. Nah. Now bow down at the king's feet. It's time for war. I want it all, give me some more. Kill them all, it's time for war. Kill them all, it's time for war. It's time for war.
Oh,
Good evening,
okay,
ladies
yes.
and gentlemen. Welcome. What the world are you doing to me? Well, I mean, in that case, I guess we'll just go ahead and start this over again. Hit the rewind button, right? Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Oh, hey, was that milk, Jason?
Yes, it was.
It does the body good.
Yes, if we're
There
all
you
love
go. You
milk.
have milk, and you have milk, and I have Pepsi, and whatever Terry
Water.
is drinking
water.
in the Tennessee cup. By the way, roll Tide. That's all I got to say.
Gross.
Well, let's try this again. When we're live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to coverage of iRacing on LSRTV and simulcast on the Community Radio Network. I am Wesley Outland. Here we go. This way. Here we go. Well, nope, that way. There we go. I had it right. I got to turn my finger here this way. Yeah, I only have a small box now. He is Terry Radford, and 2 over is Jason Rockefeller, and we are in the broadcast crew ready to bring it to you tonight for coverage here at Texas Motor Speedway. Terry Radford, of course, Jason, and we got Charles Wooten behind the scenes for Rocket Media and live sim racing coverage for iRacing. Terry, this is it. We got one more race in the round of 12. Everybody's going to enjoy a nice week off for Cup and Truck next week before we get a reset of the mind and try to get ready to go for the round of 8. But if your driver is not in the top 5 right now, per se, I would say you're definitely going to be the most aggressive you have to be here tonight at Texas Motor Speedway to try to make those final 8 spots and not be in the bottom 4.
Yeah, you're going to have to push the button to go, and Texas is a bad place to do it at, right? This track produced, entertaining racing in the Cup Series. It was okay in the trucks. It was okay in the Xfinity Series, but really it's a one-groove track. You might be able to push that second groove out just a little bit, maybe widen the curb in turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is kind of just, it's plain as day. But if you're not fast off the initial jump, then you're just going to be mired back in traffic trying to hope that you get some strategy calls to make your way up to the front. But for
Sure.
our guys below the cut line, they have no other option than to play strategy, but to do something different, to think outside the box. And Wesley, it's going to make for an entertaining show for the three of us to call.
And Jason Rockefeller, I know you'll be calling the action from turn 2 to the back straightaway. There is always a lot of crazy shenanigans that can happen at Texas, and these drivers are not afraid to take it to the virtual limit. I think we're going to see that tonight, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, coming out of turn 2, it's so wide, and all of a sudden it just narrows up. That wall's going to come at you quicker than you think. You're going to see a lot of guys barreling it down into turn 1. They want the truck to stick down to the bottom, or if you're up high, you don't want to get too loose, too tight, because you're going to end up in the wall. Might see a couple crashes, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe more off turn number 2 tonight. But like Terry was saying, you're going to have to do strategy calls. You're going to have to possibly, throw a Hail Mary. If you're guys that are outside the playoffs right now looking in to try to get into the round of 8, you're going to have to do something tonight. I mean, this is a tough track to pass at, and we've seen it here in recent years since the reconfiguration, especially on iRacing. So these guys are really going to have to be on their A game tonight.
I feel hurt, man. They got the man cave behind them, all of their great things they have in their life, and I have my, if you will, I don't want the curtain to fall this time. I think I got it mounted on the wall, but I have my I have my gray screen. Okay, it's not a green screen; it is a gray screen. Whatever works, we'll make it work for sure. So, what are you gonna say, Terry? Okay, don't one up my green screen, brother.
I mean, I'll put my green screen up and cover up this wonderful thing. I mean, I'm missing a couple pieces. I've got the helmets out in the car. I take it to work with me on Saturdays. We're going to beat LSU this weekend. There's a couple things
I'm ready to give you your Doppler radar forecast. Okay.
I got a new piece. I got a new piece in the man cave today. I guess I can get up for a second. I'm wearing pants. I got a new.
I hope you're wearing
piece.
pants.
It's the Bubba Wallace Dr. Pepper Sugar Free car.
There you go.
And it's a new piece to the man cave. I know. It sits up here with all the other goats.
Okay. We like Pepsi. Some like Dr. Pepper. We like Pepsi. Okay.
I'm a Dr. Pepper guy.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
So listen, you better get your Red Bull ready. Somebody's going to have some wings here. And Jason, back on subject here, though, man. You mentioned the Hail Mary. And last Monday night, hands down, it was Jeff Stabnow. Jeff Stabnow was out of the playoffs, and he pulled a Hail Mary in the Cup race this past, Monday night, and got it done at Kentucky to put himself now to the number 3 seed, a first win in over close to 2.5 years. And, Jason, he is going to be running for a Cup Series championship in the round of 8. And that's the type of calls that we need to see here tonight in Texas.
Yeah, I was actually able to watch that race. That was one heck of a race. Congrats to Jeff, by the way. We were talking about in the last few weeks in this series, how good he was doing. I mean, what a great drive by him. What a stellar performance. But, a driver that I'm really looking forward to tonight who could probably just do that by my point graphic here you sent us earlier. It looks like Caden Anderson is out right now by more than 30 points. Right now, I believe this is qualifying or practice, right now he's sitting in the top 10. And the very first race that I called here for LSRTV, Caden Anderson ended up winning. And he didn't just win, he dominated it. I mean dominated it. High emphasis. I am expecting Caden Anderson to come out here tonight and probably hit a walk-off and point his way into the round of 8 tonight. Keep your eye on Caden Anderson.
What are you thinking, Terry, before we go to break?
Cole Raz. He's up by 2 tenths.
Okay.
I'm taking Cole Raz in a Aaron Judge style 60-second home run era there. You don't count
and by the way, our producer is telling us that Paul Newton is his pick. I'll tell you who I'm going with, and I'll be honest with you. Carry that momentum after Kentucky. Kentucky is a lot like Texas. I'm going to go with Jeff Stabnow to win this race here tonight for the trucks. One of the things he's mentioned is practice. He's been getting practice. That win after a long slump gets you pumped up, gets you excited, and it gets you hungry to look for that next one very fast. We're going on track when we come back. This is iRacing on LSRTV, the Northwest Racing Series playoffs from Texas.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway. You see the Speedway Club suites and all the action that is a part of the action here. That is Texas Motor Speedway. There's a shot from the back straightaway to turn number 3, and a lot of excitement's going to happen here. So we mentioned the playoff picture. And here they are. Dan West Jr., two-time defending series champion. He's in. Stephen O'Hare, winner at Auto Club, is also in. Dan West Jr. won the Roval. And then, of course, better in the points has advanced him to first. Dennis Moore coming off of a win last Thursday night, of course, at the Iowa Speedway. For everybody else, like Sean Breitzman, I think he's okay. Kevin Smith, I think, is okay. Ryan Bloom, I would even say is okay right now, Terry. But like I mentioned, my friend, if you are Paul Newton, John Ottenbacher, Chris White definitely and below, you have got to make a stance here tonight to advance.
I mean, you look at these point standings here, and for the people at CRN, Paul Newton's plus 11, John Ottenbacher is plus 2 to this. So if you're Chris White, you're Tyler King, you don't have to have a stellar night. You have to have a decent night. You finish 4 spots ahead of Chris Wright. You finish 5 spots ahead if you're Tyler King. You're in. You knock somebody out right there. Like, you get in. If you're Caden Anderson, you're Cole Raz, you have one mission and one mission only. You have to win. There is no, I could finish second. Nope, win. But anybody else, Paul Newton gets wrecked early in this race. He falls down to 23rd. Finish 11 spots, 12 spots above him. You make it in if you're Chris Wright or Tyler King, and we could see both of them, if not 3 people, interchange in and out of these playoffs before it's all said and done tonight.
Qualifying ongoing right now. We'll go back to the back straightaway to you, Jason Rockefeller. And one of the things that you mentioned was Cole Raz and Caden Anderson. And the reason why these drivers are in the big bind that they are is because they have missed these races on Thursday night because of real racing. And I get that. I understand that. But they have definitely got to find a way to climb out of the cellar tonight. You think that they could possibly do it?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Caden Anderson right now, his lap isn't the best right now. Currently sitting 17th on the grid. But I really do believe that he probably just messed up his lap, in all honesty. I mean, he probably could have been a lot faster, but I'm still sticking with my gut. I think that Caden Anderson, yes, this is a track where track position means everything. But if he just plays the right strategy, he makes the right calls on pit road and out on the racetrack and just, keeps his head on his shoulders and keeps pushing forward, I guarantee you Caden Anderson is going to be up in the top 5, sometime at the end of this race. And I really do think, though, that he can still absolutely win this race.
All right, we'll see how it goes here. Let's take a look at the weather conditions here tonight. As again, by the way, they're going to go 200 miles, 134 laps around Texas Motor Speedway, same distance as the Cup cars ran at Kentucky on Monday, which, by the way, went caution-free. Air temperature is at 67 virtual. Wind speed, little windy, just jumped up into the teens at 10, 11 miles an hour, partly cloudy skies, and track temp at 68. And here's the thing, Terry, we're just right at nightfall, right at dawn, and or dusk, if you will. And, yeah, I think we're not going to have any type of issue with handling because of that. What you got's what you got.
Yeah, it's going to be a cool racetrack, and it's going to mean that the temperatures in the race cars, I mean, the driver's going to get a little hotter. The nighttime's always the right time, and when the lights come on, the big people come to the top. It's no surprise that, well, 2 of our picks are in the top 5 right now.
Got about 24 trucks, and let's give you your starting lineup as we'll go 8, 8, and 8. Row number 1 here in Texas, Ryan Bloom, 2021 ARCA Northwest champion on the pole to the 25 to the outside. Cole Raz, the driver, of course, in the number 12 seed. Got to climb to get it fast. Row 2, Troy Daggett in the 99, and, of course, Jeff Stabnow coming off of a win this past week at Kentucky in the Cup cars. Nothing to lose here tonight in Texas. He's in row 2. Row 3, Sean Breitzman out for a Cup championship. He's still in the run for a truck title. And Frank Harris in the number 11 will start 6th. Row 3. Row 4, another playoff contender, Paul Newton, and the Auto Club winner, who's already advanced. He's just ready to race tonight. Stephen O'Hare in the 41 for the Beaver State Clan. Your first 4 rows there, Terry.
You go back there to row 5, you got Tyler King and John Ottenbacher. Row 6 is going to be made up of Chris White and James Vining, and Chris needs to win, or he needs to finish good to get in these playoffs. Back to row 7, you got Dennis Moore and Carl Burke. Row 8, Toby Ritters and Kevin Smith in that 00.
Yeah, and then rounding out the rest of your field, row number 9, you got Caden Anderson there, the number 37, my pick to win tonight, and Gary Nichols. Row number 10, you got Casey Duncan and Chris Kamir. Row 11, Casey Garber and Ron Hunter. And rounding out your field is Ray Forner, the number 26, and that's your starting lineup.
And that is the starting lineup as the field begins to roll off of pit road. We'll give them 1 lap before they get ready to take the green flag next time by. The field is coming off of the pit lane, off of the double dog leg, entering turn number 1 and 2. High up on top with the Virtual Speedway Club calling the action in turns number 1 and turn 2 to the back straightaway. They're coming your view under the pace lap right now. Jason, what do you think we'll see tonight with these trucks around your corner?
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting tonight, especially with the cool temperatures. These guys are going to have a lot of grip going down to turn 1, so they're going to be able to carry a lot more speed than you usually would in the daytime when it's hot and slick, you know. But off turn 2, you know, you're going to see these guys really start to fan out. Everybody wants that track position, so the bottom's going to be key here, you know. But the outside lane could, you know, have some momentum off the corners because of the low air temperatures here tonight and the grip level. But definitely looking for turn number 2 off the corner to be a very troublesome spot tonight.
200 miles, 134 laps around the racetrack that obviously offers precision banking, progressive banking, as there can be 2, 3, 4 wide, a premium if need be. Don't know if they'll make it that brave, but the opportunity with this track wide enough can happen. The pace car dips onto the pit lane. Here comes the field, ready to come to the starter's box. Round of 12. Tonight will become round of 8. 4 are going home. Green flag in the air. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a virtual race. We're playoff racing in Texas. well in turn number 2. They're rucking in front of you already on the opening lap there, Jason.
Man, you had guys getting loose there on the bottom. I believe there was some contact there. That's the number 8 right there of Gary Nichols. He's up at the outside wall. He's going to hit the tow repair button. He's done for the night, maybe, possibly. He's in his pit box. Going to see if we can get a replay here in just a second. We will here. This is heading off turn 4. This is the number 8 of Gary Nichols. See him right now heading into the dog leg. The number 94 of Casey Garber with the 17 of Casey Duncan into the corner. Looks like the 8 is just really loose up out of the groove. This might be the lap prior, I believe. No, oh no, there we go. The 11 just stopped on the racetrack, so it was some contact there between the 11 and what looked to be, I believe, the 73.
It looks to be the 53. If you look up ahead on the replay, the 53 of Carl Burke might have been the culprit that started this accident. The 11 up in front of him, he might have got entangled up with the 53 of Carl Burke, and then nowhere to go for the 8 truck of Nichols. And Annenbacher turns the 11, and then Annenbacher then got bonsai'd by Carl Burke from the back, and that is what caused the accident. Honestly, Jason, that's what you call a, if you will, secondary yellow flag on that part of the racetrack.
Yeah, definitely unfortunate for some of those guys, so early on, you got so many laps to go. You got to be easy getting down into turn number 1. Yeah, the grip level is definitely high here tonight, especially with, the low air temperatures like we talked about earlier, but you could still get in there way too hot. Texas turn 1 and 2 is probably one of, in my opinion, one of the most unique corners in NASCAR ever since they reconfigured this place. So, like I said, turns 1 and 2, and especially off 2, definitely going to be the most troublesome spots tonight.
Well, Terry, so much for caution-free. That's out the window.
Yeah, I mean, he's right. Turn 1, turn 2 is definitely one of the most unique challenges that you're going to see here in the world. Because when you go down in there, you think that you're going to be able to get off the corner with a lot more speed. But that's not the case necessarily here at this racetrack. You have to be very shy with this racetrack. It's kind of like going on your going out to the movies and you see a pretty girl and you're afraid to talk to her. You gotta tiptoe your way up there to build the confidence to do it. It's gonna take a couple laps to get that confidence up here.
Okay, I never heard of it that way, but I guess that'll work.
You're welcome.
Interesting analogy.
Interesting analogy indeed, as right now we're under the yellow flag. I don't think anybody is spilling onto the pit lane other the front runners, as Ryan Bloom and Cole Raz stay up in the front right now. And this race getting started with a caution on lap number 2, as the field will finally get the one-to-go indication. You see those yellow lights around No Limits Texas. By the way, I've been there before, and those lights are real. When the caution lights come on, they illuminate, and of course, when they go out in green, flag conditions await us this time by. Hopefully, we can get a good green flag run under our belt. It'll be lap number 5 completed when they make their way back to the restart zone here at the No Limits Texas Motor Speedway. And already had a problem on this part of the racetrack in turn number 2. We will try to reset. We'll try to go again here as the field makes their way to the back straightaway in front of the virtual Big Hoss television. And we will get ready to turn them loose. Still a long way to go here. A long way to go with Ryan Bloom, Cole Raz ready to go on the front row. The 1-5 Studios entry. Starting third of Sean Breitzman, Troy Daggett alongside in that red flamed number 99. Jeff Stabnow, also winner at this past week of the Cup Series at Kentucky, ready now for the field to come back to the Geico restart zone. Here comes the field back to start finish, looking for a green flag, and the green flag goes back in the air. Ryan Bloom, 1 truck length, maybe 2. Raz on the outside. He'll follow back under that driver's truck, Jason, as they work their way to even speed in turn 1.
Bloom, great restart there, was able to get down to the bottom. Cole Raz, though, gonna hug the bottom a lot better than Bloom did now as they head down the back straightaway into turn 3. Put a car length in between those two as they head for 3.
Yeah, Ryan Bloom's doing a good job here on the bottom. Just getting a side-by-side battle for third right here as Daggett and Breitzman are starting to heat it up here as they come down the front straightaway Daggett, Brightsman on the outside's got Daggett down the front straight as they come into one. This is going to be a little tight here because the 46 hadn't ran that high.
The 99 right now, he's just trying to hug that bottom a little bit loose right now, but they're back in single file. A little bit of battling behind them in the pack. That looks to be Evan Smith in the 00 behind those two trucks. That's the 41 of Stephen O'Hare and Dennis Moore side by side.
O'Hare drifts up in front of Moore's truck. Kevin Smith will follow back on the bottom. Chris White will follow as they flash under the flag stand. Still single digits into this race at Texas. Everybody now follows that conga line back into turn number 1.
Yeah, everybody just trying to be really patient right now. You see side by side, though, that's the 47 of White and the 00 Kevin Smith now. They're still side by side. We're going to go back to single file into 3.
We go single file all the way through here. They come to you see the 47 machine back here. That would be the machine. Yeah, that's Chris White. He's coming up here. They're all single file. You start to see a little bit of people start to go too wide up here a little further on the front.
Yeah, up front right now, though, Troy Daggett looks to be being passed. He's under fire right now from what looks to be the 21 of Tyler King and Jeff Stapp now, the 21. Here he comes to the bottom of the racetrack. Tyler King takes that spot away.
Works their way off of turn number 4, back to the inside. The Kentucky winner for the Cup Series on Monday night after a 2.5-year drought. Jeff Stapp now down battles with King. This is for 4th and 5th. Daggett, Newton, more in that bunch. Also, Jason, as they work off turn 2.
Jeff got really tight right there heading off turn number 2. Had to catch the truck, almost hit the wall now, though. But they're still single file. And here comes Troy Daggett trying to look to the bottom on Stapp now as he's loose in 3.
Yeah, Jeff Stapp now got a little dancing back there in the back end of that machine. But what's going on right now with Daggett? Was up front a little bit, was having a little bit of a run there. As you see side by side going on a little bit in front of him, that looks like King starting to make a run up here to this front. As Brightsman gets pushed out to the outside, Cole Raz holds on to second. There's movement passing all over this track.
Yeah, there certainly is, and that all that action taking place is right now. We're 10 laps into this event. It's Bloom, Raz, Brightsman, King, and Stapp now the top 5. The bottom 5 is Newton, Daggett, and Moore, White, and Smith. Watch those visors, yellow on the back with the spoiler and on the front panel to show playoff contenders. Jason, working your way in turn 2.
Yeah, still side by side right now. Troy Daggett continuing to drop. He's under fire from Dennis Moore and Chris White now as they head into 3. But a lot of guys trying to use that outside lane right now, but trying to get back to the bottom as well.
You see the producers pick Paul Newton starting to work up the inside here of Daggett. The 44 of Moore, he's trying to work up here as well. Everybody's playing follow the person in front of you as there's battles every which way.
Contact.
Jason, is contact made.
Contact between what looked to be the 44 of Dennis Moore and Troy Daggett. He got really squirrely heading into turn number 1 there. I was hollering for them to save it here behind my microphone. Thankfully, they're able to save it. Troy Daggett, though, not having such a good night to start off here at Texas.
Got to reset and start over again after contact with Dennis Moore. Paul Newton in that mix. Daggett falls back. He now moves outside the top 10. In 11th is now Smith, O'Hare, and Moore. They battle again out of turn number 2, and Daggett's back in the fight.
Yeah, here comes the 44 of Dennis Moore, though. Put those two starting with 4 number trucks. 47 and 44, they're duking it out down the back straightaway into 3 right now, side by side.
And if you're the 47, you're hoping that somebody's in your ear letting you know where the points are updated as we go, because he doesn't need a spectacular night, boys, to get himself in these playoffs. He just needs that number 47 W machine to finish ahead of the competition. They roll it into 1.
Yeah, right now he's just hoping to have a really solid night as you're right on board with Dennis Moore and that number 44 machine trying to close the gap to Paul Newton. Side-by-side action in front of them, though.
15 laps completed this time by, but they flash under the flag stand. And good, hard, furious racing here at No Limits, Texas. Now a battle going on for second. Sean Brightsman down to the inside. Cole Raz, the number 12 seed. The battle is on. Jason off 2.
Yeah, Raz just holding that outside lane. Jeff Stapp now trying to find a way around them. Looking to the middle. He'll stay back behind them. But Raz is going to prevail on the outside lane. He's still digging on that top side into 3.
Yeah, last time by, the top 5, top 4 ran identical laps, even side by side for Brightsman and Cole Raz. But don't look now, Jeff Stabnow, Kentucky winner from Monday's right there. Very similar track from Kentucky to Texas. We'll see what that 24 has in store this race.
I was just going to say that at the beginning of the broadcast. Great analogy there by Terry. The 24 probably going to be really solid here tonight, considering the fact that this track is so similar to Texas as he battles with the 46 of Brightsman off 4.
Off of turn number 4, they come back to the Geico restart zone at full song, flashing under the flag stand. Couple of LSRTV CRN teammates, Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, moving now to 3rd and 4th, trying to come after Raz out of turn number 2.
Get a little tight there off turn number 2. The 24 of Stabnow almost in the wall there as we got a battle between what looks to be, I believe, the 41 of O'Hare, that's the 99 of Daggett. He'll look to the inside of the 00 Smith off 4.
Daggett struggled early, but now he's trying to work his way back into the top 10, but he's going to be under fire from the 17 of Duncan, who's going to go to the outside down here on the front straightaway. They'll get down into the corner. And that green 17 machine going to pull it on the outside, maybe complete it.
Yeah, right now they're still side by side. Troy Daggett just continuing to fall a little bit like a rock. Very unfortunate for him earlier on. The 17 though of Duncan, he'll take that spot away.
It's Ryan Bloom, the leader. Nobody getting around him yet. He's got about a 3/4 second lead over the pack behind them of Raz. Second, Stabnow, Brightsman, King, Moore. They go at it now for position out of turn number 2.
Side by side right now. Battle is for 4th between Brightsman and King. They're side by side, trying to get a little bit of side draft. They'll single file back out. Here comes the 44 Moore. He'll look to the outside lanes as the 21 gets loose.
Didn't prevail. They stay single file here. Everybody within about 2 seconds of one another through your top 7. You got to go all the way back to Stephen O'Hare. He's 2.5 seconds back off this race leader. This is becoming a single file showdown here.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are just going to try to save tires probably earlier on. You see a lot of guys almost starting to get up into the wall, trying to just conserve that right front because it slides so much off 2.
Off of turn number 4, the leaders come back to the start-finish line. It is still Ryan Bloom out in front. Look at now Newton. Newton battles with Kevin Smith for this position. This is going on for 9th and 10th. Behind them, Duncan, Daggett, Anderson. They've got a nice little battle heating up also off the top of the corner.
Duncan loving what he's seeing right now in front of him as Kevin Smith gets loose there off turn number 2. Very unfortunate for him, but he's able to keep it going. Right now, he'll still hold that spot over Paul Newton in the corner.
Well, and if your pick wants to win, Caden Anderson, 12th place isn't the place to do it. You got to make passes. You got to make them. It's the most opportunistic time possible. You don't want this field to get stretched out. He's made 5 spots up. He has to get past a couple very fast machines in order to get this done.
Yeah, right now, though, a lot of these guys, like we were talking about, still single file. You want to try to save that right front as much as possible. You just don't want to slide it too earlier on because that's how you're going to be able to gain track position as this run progresses throughout the night.
Field works off of turn number 4, back through the double dogleg entrance, now flashing under start finish, and back to turn 1. Chris White after King. King is after Moore. Moore is after Brightsman. That goes on off 2.
Yeah, this is a great little pack race here down the back straightaway from my point of view now as they head into 3, still single file. It's like a game of chess. You just got to make sure that you make your move at the right time.
You got to make the move at the right time. But you see the 21 right here, kind of doing his own thing, not following in. Did you see Brightsman is in the wall right there? That was a hard
in the
contact.
wall, guys.
That was hard
Sean
contact for Brightsman.
into the outside wall. Yes, he is. Whatever happened to him, he is now still going, but he has still got a problem, Jason, in the back straightaway.
Yeah, he was very loose. I want to say he probably caught the outside wall there heading out of the dog leg, which actually is not very it's not uncommon here because you see a lot of times you're going to see a little bit of contact, the 41 up into the 46, but it's not uncommon though for drivers out of the dog leg to hit that outside wall. You know, you carry so much speed into the corners. I wonder if maybe he got a tap or maybe just, you know, he didn't really see right
But, you know, very unfortunate for him. You can see, though, he's so loose right now. And other drivers continuing to get loose now as they head into 3.
And those bonsai moves continue now. Also, Kevin Smith going high, going low. John Brightsman smacking the outside, safer wall barrier, back across the start-finish line. We've got to keep an eye and seeing how much damage might be on the Brights Boutique entry. But all the while, Jason, it looks like he's back straight narrow, working off of turn 2 with just some damage on the passenger side of the door.
Yeah, like you said, Wesley, he's still going straight, but that right side of that number 46 machine is heavily damaged, as right now he's under fire from the 00 of Kevin Smith, and he's dropping like a rock right now almost.
Yeah, it's the one place you don't want to have any type of damage on any part of the vehicle, and Brightsman got it early. Might be a chance if we get a caution here in the next little bit to get a little bit of repairs done before he falls even more. He's got Paul Newton right there on his back bumper, and then he's got Daggett right behind him too.
Yeah, you can just see him how tight he's getting off the corner. Almost catches the wall, might have just skimmed it there off turn 2, but because that right front's pushed in a little bit more, it's going to be hard for him to have drive off turn number 2.
27 laps completed now, this time by when they come to the start-finish line. Now 28 laps is complete. There's Jeff Stab now. He's in the top 5. He's got Chris White behind him. Also, Stephen O'Hare. All he's got to do is race. He won at Auto Club. He's doing that, Jason, on the backstretch.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you talked about earlier with Jeff Stab now, you know, he really could have a great night here tonight. He's definitely one to look out for here for the remainder of the night right now. He's got under fire from the 47 of Chris White. He'll look to his inside now as they head into turn number 1, still side by side right now as the 47 is going to get a little bit tight. Jeff's going to try to stay on his door as much as possible, though. It's not going to be enough. Jeff slides up, and the 41 now takes advantage of that. That's Stephen O'Hare now as they head into 3. They're side-by-side for position.
Yeah, Jeff Stabnell's had a good run so far here this evening. Was sitting up as far as P3. Kind of fading back just a little bit. Used a little bit of those tires here at Texas Motor Speedway. But a couple of surprises. Dennis Moore up 10 positions in the early portion of this race. So the first little stint still looking good as we're coming to 100 to go.
Yeah, I believe Dennis Moore was actually last week's winner at Iowa, if I'm correct. And he's having a great night here. You know, he's up 10 positions from where he started. Dennis Moore could be an upset here tonight and go back to back.
Yeah, of course, it was Stephen O'Hare who won the opening race at Auto Club. Dan West Jr. went on to win the race at the Roval at Charlotte, where actually the real NASCAR Cup Series in Xfinity will be this weekend in Concord. Of course, then from there, it was Iowa Speedway, and yes, Dennis Moore won, and Jeff Stab now won Kentucky in the Cup cars to advance on to a race to a championship. All that happening now in turn number 3, Terry Radford. All these drivers right now making some last-ditch efforts. As you said, we're approaching a century grind remaining at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting close. A lot of these drivers trying to really sail it in the corner a ton more. Like you see, they're catching lap traffic. Did you look at the 41 right here and the 47 of O'Hare and White? One's running the traditional bottom lane, touching the white, and the other one's running about a half a car length up.
All of this working now as they go back into turn number 3 with O'Hare down to the bottom of the racetrack, hugging the white line. Chris White will follow behind him with the W car. He got eliminated for the Cup Series race to a championship. He is trying to stay alive and hopes to be for a quest in the truck title. He works his way into turn number 2, Jason, and right now they're single file. White under attack to the 41.
Yeah, right now, though, the 41, he's just trying to hang on to it. Keep noticing, though, that the 47 of Chris White keeps getting really loose at it, too, especially out of turn 4 here. You might see him get a little bit loose there as they head off turn 4.
Yeah, they got a little loose there off of 4 as they come down this straightaway. The 41's kind of running the more traditional, non-traditional line that some of these new drivers have been doing. I mean, you see he just continuously rides to give air to the 47 here.
Yeah, the 47, though, he keeps, staying close to him right now, but the 41's just kind of on rails right now. I think the 47 of Chris White's just trying to find out every single other line that he can do to try to get around Stephen O'Hare.
Triple digits on the scoreboard have now moved to double digits, 99. Now make it 98 laps to go here. Ryan Bloom, Dennis Moore, Cole Raz, Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare is your top 5. We're also at the top of the hour. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification. This is the Northwest Racing Series playoffs on the Community Radio Network and iRacing on LSRTV.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Welcome back, Texas Motor Speedway. It is, of course, a fierce battle going on between Stephen O'Hare, Auto Club winner, and Chris White, last year's Cup champion. Terry, they're battling like somebody stole something off turn 4.
Yeah, this has been one of the best battles on the racetrack. I mean, a little further up, you got King and Raz, but Raz is getting easy disposed of right now because his tires are gone. But Dennis Moore, he's up 11. He's one of the fastest cars on the racetrack.
Yeah, Dennis has been running solid lap times here these last few laps. He was about a 10th almost quicker than Ryan Bloom. I wonder if Ryan maybe possibly, used up his tires, but clean air does mean everything here. We've seen countless times over and over again. It's so hard to pass here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Dennis Moore in that number 2 position right now, sitting in a nice, comfortable spot. He's got King behind him, followed by, of course, Bloom the leader, Moore, King, Raz, O'Hare, the top 5. Then it is, of course, Chris White, Kevin Smith, Jeff Stabnow, the Monday night winner at Kentucky for the Cup cars, Paul Newton, and Troy Daggett currently. Another car that had some problems in the early of the race of the 99. Rounded out the top 10. Welcome back to Texas Motor Speedway virtual round of 12 finale here. For 4 drivers, they're going to be eliminated. 8 will go on. And, of course, that will be when we reset after a week off. Working up in the tower, I'm Wesley Outland. Terry Radford is alongside. Up on top of the virtual Speedway Club suites in turn number 1. Calling the action from turn 2 to the back straightaway is Jason Rockefeller and Charles Wooten in the production booth for Rocket Media. All of this happening as now we see Kevin Smith and Jeff Stabnow have a battle inside the top 10. Jason, they roar and steam to you in the corner.
Yeah, Kevin's been really good so far here tonight. He's been a little bit loose, but Jeff, same thing. A lot of these guys, honestly, I'm kind of shocked that these tires are probably wearing as much as they have here tonight. Seen a lot of guys getting loose off the corners like they have been as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of looseness going on out here. We talked about it earlier in the show, Wesley, how the track temp itself was down. The ambient temp was down as well, but you sealed a lot of these drivers that drove up to the front in the early portion of this race, and they fell back quite a bit. Maybe they burned it up, Jason.
Yeah, they probably did. You just want to save that right front, like I've said here the last couple of times in the last few laps. You just want to be able to save that right front tire enough because you don't want to slide it too much off the corner because that can really hurt your momentum going forward.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that as all of that transpiring, and also possibly green flag pit stops might be upon the horizon as well. Ryan Bloom, the number 25 machine, up in front as we continue to watch Kevin Smith from Walla Walla, Washington, Jeff Stabnow from Billings, Montana. All these guys go at it, and the 27 of Paul Newton and his Ford is running them down now, Terry, as they work out of turn number 4 to put lap 43 complete this time by.
Yeah, maybe the producer knows a little bit of what he's talking about as Paul Newton starts working his way through the field. He's lost 2 positions, but he's working his way back. He was minus 4-5. His pit stops are starting to happen here. Can't see who that is, but it's a playoff driver on pit road.
Caden Anderson, the Harvest Chevrolet entry coming onto the pit lane, the number 11 seed from Yakima, Washington, pitting early amongst everyone else now. That might be some strategy here to pit before others, is now Frank Harris involved in an accident earlier in the 11 truck. He comes down onto the pit lane, and I got a feeling, Terry, more and more they will be pitting as now this battle goes on. Jason, your way to the back straightaway.
Yeah, side by side, the 41 of O'Hare and Raz Still side by side now as O'Hare's going to be able to claim that spot. Raz is going to have to tuck back behind him as they head into 4.
Yeah, pit stops are really, really hard. It looks like here comes Dennis Moore. He's going to come down pit road. Tyler King, Cole Raz all come down as well. 3 of your top 5, top 6 coming down pit road.
Did I not call this perfectly, Terry? Did I not call this perfectly?
You were right. Right on the money.
Yes, sir. Let me go to Vegas and cash in my chips, place my bets. Green flag pit stops ongoing as, again, Raz, King, White, all on the pit lane, all these drivers coming in. And here's the thing, though, Jason, as we send it back to you in the corner, these green flag pit stops really can make the scoring pylon change, but it can also change the whole complexion of the race, as here comes the man in the Boise State Idaho Broncos Ford, finally peeling onto the pit lane, and behind him is Raz. Ryan Bloom slides into his pit box, but again, these green flag pit stops is going to just totally separate everybody on the scoring map, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely, especially getting onto pit road. You know, you go from being on one of the fastest corners, you know, in all of NASCAR, you know, sweeping around 3 and 4 pretty much at full throttle. You know, as the tire starts wear, you start to use a little bit of less throttle. But, I mean, you got guys coming at you, flying. You know, you make sure that you're using over the race comms chat, you know, that, you know, hey, I'm pitting. Because, you know, you could see guys, you know, try to pit, and then, you know, it could just be just an absolute travesty coming into the pits. You know, you might have guys trying to run to the back of others. But, I mean, so far, no harm, no foul, though. But we got some great battling here as you see the 21 and the 10. It's Tyler King and Cole Raz. They're side by side to the dog leg. The 10 trying to side draft a little. That's the 44 of Moore up ahead of them last week's winner. They're still side by side now. Jeff Stabnow, he looks like he's been in the wall.
Jeff Stabnow coming into pit lane, damaged in the LSRTV CRN 4K Ford. He needs repairs done on his truck. Remember, he is not one of the championship contenders. He is just driving out here to race. I'm winning, though, in that round of 12 finale at Kentucky on Monday to advance him into the round of 8 for a championship as far as the Cup cars. Daggett's truck, remember, he had problems earlier. He peels onto the pit lane. Terry Radford, all of this is transpiring as now Sean Breitzman, John Ottenbacher, Ron Hunter are now going to go to the top 3 as we still see a cycle of green flag pit stops on lap number 50. 17 laps, mind you, my friend, to halfway also here in Texas.
How crazy would it be if a caution came out right now? Like how crazy could we be talking if John Ottenbacher and Ron Hunter lead this field with a caution? It's doable.
John,
it's doable.
Well, everybody, Terry, John Ottenbacher won Daytona, buddy. I was going to say John Ottenbacher won Daytona. So, I mean, he's kind of been in a slump this year, but, you know, anything can happen. And while we're seeing green flag pit stops, can our producer show you the 12 drivers that are in the championship run for the playoffs again? And again, this is why I'm mentioning how crucial that it is. Look at this, 12 drivers. And I mentioned the name John Ottenbacher, Terry, and that's the reason why I say if he could pull a Hail Mary out of a hat and make something happen, he's right now in the number 8 spot.
Well, in this strategy, while it seems good that a caution can happen anytime here at Texas, it's a little far-fetched. It's a little far-fetched to think that right now is that when he comes down pit lane, so now he's in. That's going to put Ron Hunter as your leader, but your net leader is going to be Dennis Moore. No shock at all. Dennis Moore's been blistering.
With the exception of the leaders now on the back straightaway, there is a nice clean gap of traffic open between turn 2 to turn 1 and 2 halfway to the back straightaway. Other than that, there is a gaggle of race traffic and trucks all over the place as Sean Breitzman, mind you, is now gone 18th. He's back on the lead lap. Ottenbacher had to pit, and he's on pit road now. And this will still cycle back around to Ron Hunter. Hunter is going to pit. Pitting now is Ron Hunter. And Justin, let's see here. What is he going to do here? Dennis Moore, Terry, is going to now cycle back to the lead. I'm looking to find Ryan Bloom. He is now up to third. So you just see that scoring pendulum cycle its way back up.
Yeah, he lost 2 spots there on that pit cycle, but look at him. That's your top 4. And they all pitted 45, lap 46. Ryan Bloom obviously pitted a lap later than the rest of these drivers. That made the difference. That made the difference for these top 2 to go out there. And technically Tyler King was above him, but the Bronco machine working his way back to the front, he's been the man to beat. He had almost a 1.5-second lead over the field when he decided to come down. But I think somebody's going to have to be fighting pretty hard to beat him today.
All of this happening now as the leaders work their way back across the start-finish line. That is Ryan Bloom now battling with Raz. This is for the number 2 position. Oh, and guess what? The leaders are right there in front of him. He is right within the catbird seat. Ryan Bloom doing what he needs to do to have a solid run. A win advances you into the round of 8. We saw that happen with drivers like Stephen O'Hare at Auto Club. Dan West Jr., 2-time defending Truck Series champion and the number 1 seed for tonight's race at Texas. Winner at Charlotte, Roble. Then last week, Dennis Moore, who's in the lead right now. Hey, Terry, here comes now Ryan Bloom. He wants to try to do the exact same thing. The 25's been strong tonight at Texas.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The 25's been blistering fast. But my look at if Cole Raz wins this race, and if the top 4 stays the same way, minus putting the 10 to the top, I think this is your championship 4. No disrespect to Caden Anderson, but look at him. He's having to play different strategy. This was not the race Caden Anderson wanted to come into and say, okay, I've got to win this thing. Because, I mean, he's sitting P8. Now, granted, this all could change. We could see a caution. Everybody could bunch back up. Caden Anderson could go put on a smoke show for the fans. He could go win this thing and have a walk-off. But if it stays like this and we get Cole Raz to the win, I think we're looking at the top 4 right here between Moore, Bloom, Raz, and King, because they've been on rails here.
And I'll be honest with you, as they come back storming past the start-finish line, Cole Raz in 10, Caden Anderson in 37, they have to win. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have got to win. And if it comes down to both of those drivers duking it out, Katie bar the door, I think somebody's going to go on the wall, Terry, as the leaders work their way back into turn number 3. It is Dennis Moore, the leader. Here, Kitty Ryan Bloom is running him down in P2. Raz behind in 3rd, as well as Tyler King and Stephen O'Hare. Your top 5, Jason, they're back in front of you, buddy, in turn 1.
Well, Jason's having technical difficulties.
Terry, it's right. My apologies. Yes, I thought my producer was telling me he was here, but he's going to reboot land, so he's back to the future. Now we go to turn number 3, and Terry, we're on lap number 60 this time, my brother.
Well, you talked about it with if Caden Anderson gets up here and it's a battle between him and the 10 of Cole Raz. What Brooks and Dunn say, heel toe, do-si-do, come on, baby, let's go, boot scoot. Well, yeah. Bumper to rear bumper. We're going to move somebody around because you got to say it. You got to do it right that you have to win to get in. You're winning to advance. There is no, I can finish second and I can advance. You're the 10, you're the 37. The goal is, there's only one goal, win. Everybody else is just out here for playoff points. They're out here for seeding into the next one. They're virtually locked in.
And don't forget the lyrics, Cadillac, Blackjack, baby, meet me out back, we're going to boogie. And I think that's exactly where we're going to see it, No Limits, Texas tonight. And I hate country music, Terry.
Oh, I love country music. There is nothing any better than a good steel guitar playing. But we're in Texas, and you know
today's country. I hate today's country. Let me
today's country. That. Yeah, today's country is not country. That's that pop stuff. But you'd be remiss. Stupid. You're in the back, the home state of the greatest country artist of all time, George Strait.
Picket and Green. Look at there. Ryan Bloom trying to run down Dennis Moore for the lead. By the way, Loretta Lynn, coal miner's daughter. She passed away the other day.
Yeah, it's sad.
One of the original members of country music. How about that? And, of course, down into turn number 3, we're watching now Dennis Moore the More Speed Beaver State Racing 44 winner last week at Iowa. Charles Wooten and myself was on the call for that last Thursday night, or Monday morning. It's the, all the while we are Brian Bloom to the outside. Here we go. Cole Raz, Tyler King, and I believe we're getting ready for mid-race report as halfway is upon us. We welcome you inside the broadcast position as the field comes down to the start-finish line. Hey, look at this. Now, Jason he's froze on us, okay?
Right.
Jason cannot believe that Terry is holding the tire.
Let's analyze Jason for a second here.
It's time for another segment of Tire Talk as we're also at the mid-race report of this race here tonight at No Limits, Texas. Terry, what do you got for me? Man, it's a big tire.
I pulled out my Larry Mack. I put the ring on. I did just a little Larry Mack here, but we'll analyze old Jason Rockefeller for a second. He's in mid-sentence there. He's ready. Either he's about to poop or he's really, really close to having a really good thought here with all the Ryan Blaney stuff. But we were talking tires there for a second. We talked tires there for a second. How everybody come down there slipping and sliding here at Texas. You see how these trucks are getting cockeyed in the back, right? Well, we talked about the sectors of the tire last week when I was on the show for the Cup Series. But let's talk about different sectors of the tire for a second. So as this tire, I make sure I get it in the shot, you start to scrub, right? This entire tire starts to scrub from in out. It picks up these marbles throughout here. I'll see if I can pick one of these suckers off. See that small little marble right here in my hand? That's a very small.
We're this together.
Yeah, very small little marble sitting in my hand. That's what picks up off this tire. It shreds
That's the wrapper that's coming
down.
off of the drink bottle. That's the wrapper. Okay.
It's got these small little cord things right there where it builds up the layers of rubber. The more you wear them tires down, the more it starts to scrub and get bald. That's why you're getting cars loose out here, because they're getting things. But Jason, you look froze, buddy. Looks like he's in what's that?
It's not the frozen
He
people.
will survive. He will survive. Hey, hey.
Tire Talk with Jason. And he's speaçless, by the way. Thank you, Terry, with Tire Talk. We are halfway through the race. Hope you're enjoying some of the new enjoying some of the new graphics here. And we are halfway here at No Limits, Texas. Hey, bring me back up. We're not done yet, Charles. What in the world?
We got stuff to talk about here.
Terry, you're taking the first half of the race so far. One caution flag, and since then it's been a pretty exciting race. Green flag pit stops, and it's between Ryan Bloom and Dennis Moore. And your pick, Cole Raz, right now, kind of lying in the weeds, but still a lot of racing left to go, buddy.
Well, I want to point at Stephen O'Hare for a second. The 41, he's catching this pack of four. That's been intriguing for me, as the fact that he's had consistent speed while he has been faster than them. He hadn't just been faster than them over 2 laps, but the past 10 laps I've watched his average lap time, he's pointing a 30.8 across the board. That's impossible normally at Texas, but he's doing a good job of keeping it planted on the bottom. He changed his line from up here to down here, and now he's starting to make headway. I think he realized that he was burning that tire up a little bit too much. Don't be too shocked if the 41 pulls into victory lane too.
Yeah, I agree, man. It's he's got a really good truck, and by the way, he did what he needed to do, winning at Auto Club. So he's another one of those drivers that I'm just here for the party, and I'm going to spoil the party if I get a chance to. And with that, that has been, that's right, No Limits Texas, and we're ready to see what the second half will entail. Jason, you ready?
I called it.
Where that's your mid-race report here at Texas Motor Speedway on lap number 72. And all of this transpiring down the back straightaway. Terry, I guess Jason didn't. I'm back. Let's come back. Let's bring him back. Bring it back on the camera. Here we go, down below.
Okay, so now he's not frozen no more.
Oh, I know. I saw the whole tire, and let's analyze. I've been having a webcam issue, so
it would not be a mid-race report, Jason, without your thought of things here, man. As We're back. You're back. You're not frozen
Yeah,
anymore.
I'm back.
Terry said it looked like you were taking a number 2. So
yeah, I was sitting there. I was looking. I was like, oh man, how do I look? And I saw. I was like, so like.
We'll all be the Jason.
But so far tonight, I mean, it's been interesting. I mean, tires have meant a lot. You know, track position. I can't even get a thought out without these guys laughing.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
It has been an interesting race so far. I mean, you've seen a lot of guys, you know, up here like they usually are, as Terry continues to sit here and laugh.
You know, we're good.
But, you know, a lot of guys, you know, tires have meant a lot. You know, track conditions, your typical Texas race, especially here on a Thursday night. You know, I'm not surprised that it's been a single file race pretty much, but when guys get fresh tires or when guys are on older, better tires, you know, I mean, you've been seeing it, you know, right now, though, it's been a solid race so far. Still a while to go, though.
I think I cried.
If only y'all could hear. If only y'all could hear what our producer says. We gotta go to a break. We're gonna go side by side. We're back from Texas in a moment. Hang with us. I'm 75 and 134.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel. Ask their questions. Get interactive with us with comments and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week.
Your CRN, my CRN, our CRN. We are CRN. The Community Radio Network now and the new WCRN 87.9 FM. And still always anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN. Welcome to the Community Radio Network. Follow us always via social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at CRN Sports. Plus, listen to the new CRN 87.9 and still anywhere worldwide at wearecrn.com. We are CRN.
Back here at Texas Motor Speedway, the battle for third, fourth going on now between Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare. Cole Rass has lost ground also, but those drivers have also lost ground to Moore and Bloom, who go back into the corner. Jason in front of you on lap 79.
Yeah, I'm gone for a little bit, and all of a sudden, Dennis Moore's out front. Last week's winner at Iowa. Right now, you know, I can't believe he was able to jump Ryan Bloom in the pits, and so far is doing a pretty dang good job of keeping that lead by about half a second now. Everybody's single file, though, for those first 5 spots.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. I mean, he pitted a lap sooner than him, but their lap times have mirrored. They come across the line right here. We'll see what it comes to be. It was faster for Dennis Moore. So the 44 machine, who was chasing him down, was up 11 positions before the pit stops. Now he's up 12. We'll see if he can hold it off for the second half of this race.
Yeah, he's done a great job so far here tonight. Dennis Moore up 12 spots from where he started. I do think, like I keep saying, clean air means everything, and so far, clean air has been the best friend for Dennis Moore.
Yeah, clean air, best friend for that man right now with Dennis Moore, and behind him, Ryan Bloom, and also another Beaver State truck. Both of those actually are Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare. Beaver State Racing proudly represented up in turn number 2, Jason.
Yeah, they're right now single file, the 21 of King and the 41 of O'Hare right now, still single file. I think O'Hare right now is just trying to look for a way around that 21 right now, just being patient, but, you know, if he slips up, take advantage, claim that spot as they head off the board.
Yeah, Stephen O'Hare continues to do what he does. He's just stalking. I mean, Kings fell back. Cole Razes fell back off of where they were sitting. They drove through the field pretty decently. I mean, +6, +4 for your top 4. Not too shabby for a Texas race.
Yeah, the thing is that we talked about here tonight, Tyler King only needs a solid night here tonight. And right now he's having just that. Came into the points -2 out, tied with Chris White pretty much. And right now he's sitting in 3rd. So good job for that driver, the number 21.
Leaders working their way back off of the corner out of turn number 4. Tyler King, O'Hare, best battle on the racetrack. They continue to run each other down. They're also trying to run down Ryan Bloom for second off too.
Yeah, the 21, he just gets a little bit higher than the 41. He's able to close a little bit. Draft definitely plays a factor down the straightaways. But I believe, like I keep saying, the 41, that dirty air behind the 21 is definitely playing a factor. But he's inching closer and closer now as they head off forward.
Do some math here for a second. We said that Tyler King was 2 out. Well, he's sitting 3 up on Chris White. So if you think about it, that puts him +1 into the playoffs here. That'll move Chris White out, if my math's correct. Then you got to think John Ottenbacher. Well, he's all the way back in 16th. The 2 that needed to chase him down, boys, they're above him.
Yeah, we certainly are watching that now as here comes Ottenbacher. Another one of those drivers that needed to have a good solid run in the number 8 spot in the bottom of the barrel to make it into the round of 8. He is right now on the cutoff, and he is 25 seconds back to the leader of Mr. Dennis Moore. That's the interval now with now 16 trucks on the lead lap. Let's give you your top 10 now as we approach lap number 85 complete. Dennis Moore, Ryan Bloom, Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare, Koraz, your top 5. There's the man out in front. He's leading the way. And then, of course, then it's Chris White, Kevin Smith, Caden Anderson, Sean Breitzman, and Paul Newton 15 seconds back to the leader as Dennis Moore flashes under the flag stand. 85 laps completed of lap number 134. Jason, he's down to the bottom of the racetrack out of 1.
Oh, he gets a little bit loose right there, Wesley. He clipped that apron. You don't want to do that because that's going to enable your car to just get, or truck to get really tight or loose depending on your setup or just how you drive the thing. But good job. Good car control by the 44 there off too.
Very good car control. As you see him paint the bottom again in 3 and 4. He comes to the dog leg, tucks it right to the grass, tries to cut that all the way off across. Start to see drivers coming down pit road here. Believe that will be Cole Raz down pit road. First one on this second stint.
Man, you got to wonder if maybe he's trying to catch the undercut on anybody else and trying to pit for position. Obviously, it's a bold strategy. Let's see if he can pay off, as right now he's in pit stall 2. Here comes Dennis Moore, sliding into his pit box. I have to check and make sure he don't get busted for a speeding penalty.
Oh, he's
what
bad.
Heartbreak that would be for him. I think he's going to get a penalty. I think there's a speeding penalty coming to the leader of Dennis Moore, and they're going to hold him on pit road. Tyler King is in. O'Hare is in. Moore is in. Justin, Tyler, everybody's coming down to the pit lane right now. I mean, this was actually another cycle of pit stops. I literally didn't realize it, but they've literally gone another distance. And Tyler King's being, I guess Dennis Moore is not being penalized.
No way.
Wow. He got away with it. I don't know how he did, but he got away with it. Just, oh my goodness.
There's
Ryan
no
Bloom
way
is
he wasn't
coming into
speeding.
pit. Wow, Terry, I can't believe that.
Yeah, I mean, he locked the 2 front up right there. And normally when you lock both tires up, you're probably guilty of something. And sure enough, he held it off. He's not going to be caught for speeding. But for Cole Raz to undercut right there, it worked for Dennis Moore. Why not make it work for him?
I am blown away that they did not call a penalty on him coming to the pit lane. All of this happening now with green flag pit stops on lap number 90. Paul Newton is in. All the way to his pit stall. 4 tires and fuel. And you got to remember too, Terry, everybody's going to go a lap down or more too, and you got to make a perfect pit stop. Chris White is in. Dubby, number 47, to his pit stall now.
If you're one of these drivers right now that's kind of been struggling here this afternoon, you think about Casey Garber, you look at John Ottenbacher, Jeff Stabnow, unfortunately, had the issue where he got the wall and really couldn't get out of it. Troy Daggett, Brightsman, Ritters, any of these drivers that are staying out here, you're praying for the caution. You don't want to get trapped here because the longer they're going to stay out, the more time they lose. They'll obviously go a lap down permanently. They won't get it back. This is going to be intriguing because this is the last pit stop unless a caution does come out.
Yeah, I'm wondering to see if John Ottenbacher maybe stays out actually to keep going and maybe hope for a caution as Jeff Stabnow comes into the pit road. But it'd be interesting to see if John does stay out here and try to hope for a caution. I mean, we've already had one here tonight, you know, and with the amount of guys getting loose off the corners and nearly hitting the wall off too, especially, I wouldn't be shocked if he is trying to make that strategy work.
No Limits Texas and green flag pit stops are ongoing. Jeff Stabnow coming down to the pit lane. He will fall down into the top 20 in the scoring pylon. All of this happening now as Daggett will move to second. Sean Brightsman, by the way, up in front as the leader as that goes into turn number 3. Terry Radford, all of this going on with a flash under the flag stand, my friend. 40 laps to go here at Texas.
Man, I swear this race has been like a blink of an eye as Daggett's going to come down pit road. Looks like Duncan's coming with him. That feels like just like 20 minutes ago we started this show. It sees what happens when we're having fun as Sean Brightsman continues to lead down the back straightaway.
Yeah, I guess that's what happens too. When your camera goes out, you lose a few laps. But, you know, 46 of Sean Brightsman, though, continuing to lead off 4.
Leaders come back to the line. Another lap on the board here with Sean Brightsman out in front. And mind you, I know you're new to the broadcast crew of the Northwest guys. Sean Brightsman in that Brights Boutique Toyota. I'm telling you, Terry and Jason, he's one of those types of drivers that if there's anybody that could pull a gamble or try to make a bold strategy, it is Sean Brightsman. He'll do whatever it takes.
I mean, he's been up front every single week that I've been here. The strategy, while it is bold, it's not uncommon. I mean, he has a 9-second lead, 16.5-second lead over Dennis Moore. A yellow flag comes out. That puts a fast Sean Brightsman right in position to win this thing.
Leaders cross the line now. Brightsman, Ritters, Moore. Ritters in a good spot in the top 5. They haven't pitted yet. All this happening. Jason out of turn 2.
Yeah, Jeff right now, he's trying to get his lap back. He's trying his hardest right now to race towards, the 46 of Sean Brightsman is into the pits actually this time by. Just got word he's finally going to come to pits. And here comes Toby Ritters as well in that number 23 truck. He'll come in as well now as they head for their pit box down the front stretch.
Had to have wondered they were coming down to the pit lane. Chris Camary joins him, so does Toby Ritters. Sean Brightsman into his pit stall. All these drivers taking 4 tires and fuel, ready to go to the finish. 37 laps to go. Battle for the lead. Dennis Moore in his own world. Cole Raz, 2.5 seconds back. Duncan and Daggett are trucks that are a lap down, fighting to get back on the lead lap. And Dennis Moore is picking them up and putting them down. Even lap trucks in his way, Jason, in turn 1.
Yeah, the 44, he's just trying to keep it easy right now. As you see one truck sideways, that looked to be the 17 of Casey Duncan right now. This is the battle for the lead lap, basically, right now, as they're heading into 3, still side by side for that battle behind the 44 Moore.
Not surprised with as good as Dennis Moore got on pit road, and while I think he was speeding, he clearly wasn't with the face of the iRacing gods. He has a 2.5-second lead over Cole Raz, who out-pitted him, in my opinion, by that 1 lap.
Yeah, right now, though, they're still side by side down the back straightaway, battling behind Moore. That's the 99 of Troy Daggett to the outside of the 17.
All of this happening now with the leaders working off of turn number 4. Dennis Moore, bottom of the racetrack. Duncan will follow on the outside lane. And here he comes now, back to the bottom. This is all behind Moore. These are lap trucks. And while this goes on, Jason, Cole Raz is coming in the 10.
Yeah, Cole Raz is trying to put one down for sure, but Tyler King, don't underestimate him. He's closing back behind him, but the 41 of Stephen O'Hare and him are battling side by side. That's Cole Raz, and Stephen O'Hare will take the second spot out of 4.
And Cole Raz getting past there by Stephen O'Hare. I said it before the mid-race race break. Don't be surprised if the 41 parks it in victory lane. He's fast. That last time by, he was faster than Dennis Moore by over a tenth of a second. Can he get him down? That's going to be the real question. Can he catch him in 33?
And that goes on now back off the corner. It'll be 32 laps to go when they come back to start finish. Stephen O'Hare, Raz now for second, racing for position with one another. Moore is the leader. But for how long? O'Hare and Raz have hooked up there at a turn number 2, Jason Rockefeller.
Oh man, they get really loose there out of the corner off turn number 2. Still single file though, put a couple car lengths behind or in front of those trucks right now as they continue to be single file into 4.
Yeah, this race has kind of settled itself into a nice groove. It's your top 3 under 3 seconds, and the guy who's virtually dominated this race, Ryan Bloom, trapped all the way back in 5th. These pit stops have not been kind to him, Jason.
Yeah, absolutely not. I believe he actually pitted a little bit later than most of these guys, but I mean, right now he's just on the struggle bus currently all the way back there. I don't really think there's any way of him taking home this victory here tonight unless there's a caution.
Needing a caution. The question is, will he get it? Not likely right now. It has only been one yellow flag of this race. And honestly, very unique, Jason, to see only one caution of the race with 30 laps to go as they come back your way.
Yeah, it actually really doesn't surprise me all that much considering the fact that this track is primarily a one-groove racetrack, and the only time you're really going to have issues is when lap trucks get in front of the leaders, and then you start dicing it up a little bit, old versus new tires. So it's very interesting to see that. Surprised that we haven't seen that much here tonight, probably because this track is still fairly new with a pave, so it's not like it's multi-groove, it's not really worn out, but, I mean, I've been talking about all night. You see the 10 of Cole Raz really loose out of turn number 2, and he's under fire right now from the 21 of Tyler King. He'll look to the bottom, and John Ottenbacher right behind them now. He's currently a lap down.
That's going to spell trouble for John Ottenbacher if a caution does not come out. Being trapped one lap down, no positions can be gained. He can only lose from here. Now, granted, he could only lose 2 positions to Ritters and Casey Garber, but you don't want to be a lap down here. I'm telling you, that's not something you really want to do.
Yeah, absolutely not, especially if you're John Ottenbacher right now, who is sitting right above the cutoff line coming into this race, and he needed a good night, and here he is right now trapped a lap down.
Working off the corner, back to the start-finish line. Ottenbacher inside, Ritters also there, hooking up with King. This is the 3rd place truck. Lap trucks in the way, or trucks on the tail end of the lead lap, trying to run back down the leaders. Time running out though, 27 to go, chasing off 2.
Yeah, Dennis Moore right now is pulled out to about... Oh, we got one of the wall back there. Not too sure who it was. We stay green right now. I can't believe we haven't had a yellow, but I tell you what, I very well could have one here late in the going with these guys know the urgency. They know how much track position means, so it's going to be interesting to see if we will have a caution here as the race progresses on. But right now, it's all Dennis Moore out front by just 3.19 seconds.
Terry, I'm going to take a guess, and I think it was Chris Camary that just smacked the outside safer wall barrier. The driver 3 laps down in the black number 15. All the while, this battle continues to take place with more lap trucks battling with leaders in turn number 1.
This is always the recipe for disaster when it comes to these types of races right here, especially when you get the lap cars and the lead lap cars mixing it up. You'll have fresher tires and non. James Vining's actually going to come down pit lane here, unscheduled here.
So I wonder if the Catman, James Vining, might have been the truck that smacked the wall. Nonetheless, no caution, 25 laps to go. Dennis Moore, O'Hare, King, Raz, and Bloom. We haven't done it in a while. Let's do another LSRTV. Feel the roar in Texas as we approach 25 to go. .21 laps to go. When the field comes back around, you're on board with Troy Daggett. He is in 11th position. Outside the top 10.
Oh, he's in the wall.
Comfortably as Duncan about hit the wall. Wow. Stab now behind him. Those drivers coming to the line right now. 13 trucks on the lead lap. Everyone else a lap down or multiple laps down are out of the race. With now 20 to go, next time by, it's Dennis Moore, Stephen O'Hare, Tyler King, Raz Bloom, the top 5. And I'll tell you what, Jason, if you are a driver like Raz or Anderson, you got to go. You got to go now. And even Chris White for that matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but they're more than 5 seconds back right now. You know, Cole Raz has been having a very solid night here tonight. You know, tried a little bit of strategy, and here he is right now running in fourth. As you see right there to the bottom, that's the 94 of Casey Garber, who is currently on the lead lap. He's actually the last truck on the lead lap so far. You know, oh, a little bit loose there is the 10, though, off the corner.
Yeah, that 10 struggling hard. He's got the 25 of Ryan Bloom going to get around him, going to push Cole Raz back to 5th. But not the night that some of these drivers thought they were going to have, as most of them are well away from this leader.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as the race winds down, though, you got to think to yourself, we kept talking about if Washington was going to come out, very well could be. Keep seeing guys slide more and more as the laps wind down. Wonder if we're going to see somebody end up in the wall before the end of this one.
Gotta wonder, Jason and Terry, if who is praying for a caution flag. Only one yellow flag to come out around lap number 3 of the start of the race. Other than that, it has been a solid green flag run. 2 rounds of green flag pit stops, and what you have now is what you've got for the finish. With Moore the leader, O'Hare, King, this is Bloom, Raz, and lap trucks in the way. Terry working off turn number 4, coming back to the line.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Dennis Moore, you just have to be patient. You have to be calm. You just go, okay, I won last week. I can win it again. Just lap traffic, you know, do your worst, but move. Right, make them run the second lane. If you're Stephen O'Hare, you're King, or you're Bloom, you're praying for a caution.
And you got to remember, if a caution does not come out, they race to the finish. If a caution does come out, there's still 2 attempts at a green-white checker. Jason, we could possibly see overtime take place if that transpires. But right now, you've got, of course, O'Hare and King going at it for 2nd and 3rd. But here's the deal. They're not running down the leader, Dennis Moore. And if Dennis Moore wins, it's going to be now 2 wins in a row.
Yeah, and that would be great momentum to carry on to the next round of the playoffs, you know. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how these next 16 laps, you know, go about. I mean, like I said, we keep seeing guys slide up off the corners. You know, we were doing the Feel the Roar before. A couple guys were getting really loose up into the marbles, tail slap with the wall off the corners. So I would not be shocked, like I keep saying, if somebody ends up in the wall, somebody's on the inside, and ends up being massive melee off one of these corners.
But the question is, can we see massive melee off these corners? We saw it during our Let It Roar segment there, where there was a whole lot of dead air. There was a whole lot of no roar because these drivers are so separated. Yeah, it was like
at least you're honest about it,
Yeah. I mean, it was like
it's your fault with your tire talk.
It was like a hybrid that was out there on the racetrack, and you didn't even know if it was started or not. But hopefully we see a little calamity to spice this race up, like a nice Texas chili.
I love it. 13 laps to go. With Dennis Moore leading, Stephen O'Hare right there, Tyler King right there, and they are losing ground to the leader. 3.5 seconds, Jason off 2.
Yeah, I think once Stefan got by the 21 of Tyler King, I think he's been able to kind of put on the jets a little bit more, a little bit faster that last time around. Going to see what the lap times are this time by around.
Across the line, 12 laps to go. Want to go, you better go now. Everybody right now in the conga line, single file, Jason, and we are under a dozen remaining.
Yeah, the 21 right now, a little bit loose off the corner, kept talking about tires. While I was away, I'm sure Terry was talking about how those tires shred, that right front shreds, whatever he may be doing when he was making fun of my frozen camera. But, like I keep talking about, these guys, they're running so many laps on these tires, you just have to wonder if anybody is going to get up out of the marbles and possibly hit the wall. I mean, it's not uncommon to happen here. You see guys send it down to 1, try to get that momentum off the corner, and as these tires progressively wear out, though, you see guys starting to hit the wall off the corner. So still wondering, but we're under 11 to go. Wonder if it's going to happen.
Oh, that almost got bad. Yeah, Duncan. Duncan almost had a donut.
And a lot of people needed that. And a lot of people needed that, believe it or not. Serve Pro number 17. Duncan giving us the scare. 10 laps to go. Ready to settle things here at No Limits, Texas. We're also coming up on the top of the hour in about 10 minutes. We'll pause for 10 seconds of radio identification and take you to the checkers on CRN, the Community Radio Network for the Northwest Racing Series playoffs.
Community Radio Network, WCRN 87.9 FM, Clayton, Garner, Raleigh, North Carolina, USA. We are CRN.
Ready to settle things here at No Limits, Texas. We're ready. Chicken and a biscuit, Texas. Ready to go to the finish. I'm Wesley Outland. We've got Terry Radford alongside here at No Limits Virtual Texas Motor Speedway. Jason Rockefeller on top of the Speedway Club, and we are under single digits to the race all the while. It's Dennis Moore leading, and if anybody is going to make a run for him, you better do it now. And I will say this, though, I'll say this. 1.7 seconds, if you can zoom in, Charles, on the 41, Stephen O'Hare is running down Dennis Moore. He's trying to run him, Jason, into turn number 1 with 7 laps to go here.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Wesley. These guys were 4 seconds apart not even 10 laps ago. You have to think something had to have happened to Moore there in these last few laps, whether it be a lap car, maybe got up out of the groove, maybe he hit the wall. Like I've been talking about, the commentators curse, and here he is now. The 41's real, and it's down under 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, you might have been the one to commentator curse, my guys. It has shrunk drastically. I mean, King has also shrunk it in. These two have not shied away from clicking off some blistering laps. Tyler King, one of the fastest drivers on the racetrack.
Whoa!
Jeff Staff now just got
bonsai. Yes, sir. Bonsai, bottom of the racetrack. King to the bottom. Looking now for second on
Oh, the
O'Hare.
40, something's wrong with
For
the 44.
lead, 2 for 1. Dennis Moore under attack. Tyler King looking
He's
for
hit
the
the
lead.
wall.
He'll carry up Moore with him. 5 to go here in Texas. Jason in turn 1. And yes, Dennis Moore did hit the wall.
Dennis Moore hit the wall off turn number 2 that last time around. That's why Stabnow had to go all the way to the apron, almost to the infield there. And now the 21 of Tyler King and Stephen O'Hare are out front. This is insane here with under 5 to go. The battle's for the lead in the 3.
Oof. And that's how you win it at Texas, I guess. And these are the two guys we talked about, a little part of the race, that they were coming on strong. Tyler King was doing a great job. He didn't have to win. He doesn't have to win at all. It's Stephen O'Hare. This would be massive for either one of them.
Stephen O'Hare doesn't have to win. Tyler King, though, he needs to win. Tyler King, Terry, needs to win this race. He is right now outside the cutoff in the number 10 spot. He wins. He advances. Can he get around, though? He's leading the way. O'Hare, they're both teammates. They're both for more speed. They're both Beaver State drivers. But is O'Hare going to try to let the 21 of King have this, Jason, or is he going to be aggressive here with 3 to go?
Oh, he sure as heck is going to try to be aggressive. You saw the last time around off turn 2. That 41 nearly tank slapped the wall off turn 2 trying to get to his outside. Just not enough. Wonder if the 41 kind of burnt up his tires, but you never know. 2 laps to go coming up.
I mean, you got to look at the points here. If you think about it, with Chris White sitting back there in 6th place, you could finish second if you're Tyler King and still potentially make it in based off of the point standings themselves. But this is close. If I'm his teammate, I'm letting him go. He's faster than him anyhow.
Right now, though, they're still working their way down the back straightaway in the 25. Ryan Bloom, nice recovery. He's up to the 4th spot. About to pick off 3rd here on Dennis Moore as he looks up to the outside lane. But they're coming to the white flag this time by, and it's getting close.
The field will come to the line. The white flag goes in the air. The CRN 1 to go. Final time for all the marbles. O'Hare makes a run on the outside. Final time, Jason, into turn number 2.
O'Hare's going to get the run down the back. He's sideways. He's to the inside. Tucks back in line. John Ottenbacher is going to be in the way. Final time into 3.
They work into turn number 3. King will hug the bottom of the racetrack. Lap truck of Ottenbacher up on the top side. He can't reel him in. It is going to be Tyler King from the number 10 seed to the number 4 seed. He will advance to the next round of the playoffs. Stephen O'Hare, the Auto Club winner, let one of his Beaver State More Speed friends stay up in front. And the American touch-up entry will now have at least, Terry Radford, 3 out of the 8 drivers for the Beaver State Racing Clan. Count them up, my friend. Stephen O'Hare at Auto Club, Dennis Moore at Iowa, and now Tyler King here tonight at No Limits, Texas.
Well, that's a walk-off win for you. Not the walk-off win we thought was going to happen, but Tyler King did what he needed to do. Stood there in the face of everything and won this race. Granted, it was at the misfortune of Dennis Moore, but a win's a win. They ain't going to say in the record book that Dennis Moore smacked the wall. It's going to say the 21 won it.
And it has been a very long time. And by the way, Jason, I got to just throw this out there. All those drivers were Beaver State Clan drivers racing for the finish.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, the 44 of Dennis Moore, crazy enough. As you see them right now for the viewers at home, they're all doing burnouts on the front stretch. This is cool. I mean, but the 44-4 was leading. He had over a 4 or 5 second gap those last 10 to 15 laps, and he lost it from lap traffic and hitting the wall. I cannot believe what I just saw here tonight. I mean, what a win for Tyler King and all these guys over at Beaver State.
Hey, by the way, guys,
what a race!
This will be also his second career win. You want some stats? Listen to this. In his 134th start in Cup and Truck tonight, it's Tyler King winning. Tyler King, his last win, September 22nd, 2021 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's the last time Tyler King has won with the series. In addition to that, 37 top 5s and 77 top 10s when you add tonight's win for Tyler King. How about that for that driver as we look at the unofficial results? Tyler King winner tonight. Stefano Harris second. Dennis Moore third. Ryan Bloom is fourth. Cole Raz, fifth place. I don't know if that'll be enough to make a run for a championship. Chris White, I think he's going to be out. Sean Breitzman, seventh. Caden Anderson, eighth. By the way, Raz and Anderson were 11 and 12 outside the 4 drivers of the cutoff of the 8 that'll advance. I don't know if that's going to be enough there. I just don't know, Terry. We'll have to see how they rack up the points, but I just don't think it's enough, and that's your top 8.
Yeah, you look at Paul Newton back there with Kevin Smith running at the top 10. You go back here to 11th. You got Troy Daggett, Casey Duncan, Jeff Stabnow, John Ottenbacher. And you look there at Ron Hunter, 2 laps down, and Toby Ritters rounds out your top 16, 2 laps down as well.
And then continuing on from 2 laps down, you got Ray Foreigner there finishing in 17th. Gary Nichols, 18th, that number 8. Casey Garber, and that number 94 comes home 19th. Chris Kamir, that number 15, he'll come home 20th. And then the rest of your field here, you got James Vining in that 333 car in 21st. Frank Harris in the 11th, coming in 22nd. And then Carl Burke rounds out your last position, the 23rd spot, that number 53.
One caution flag fell in this race early going. After that, it went caution-free until the end. When it's all said and done here at No Limits, Texas, it is Tyler King's second career win, getting it done here tonight. We will talk to him, and it's a special win because it advances him now to a run in the round of 8 for the playoffs. Coming up, finish line, post-race wrap-up. Terry Radford, Jason Rockefeller, and myself will have questions for the top 3 on the podium. We will unveil unofficially the top 8 when that all updates. And by the way, shout out to Shelton, Washington's number 1 seed, Dan West Jr. He's going to enjoy 2 weeks off. He took off tonight. By the way, he's the number 1 seed coming into tonight's race. Will he stay number 1 after the great 2 weeks of runs by Dennis Moore? We'll find out and more as we'll talk to these drivers next at Texas. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the finish line post-race wrap-up as we will officially round out 12 drivers to 8 tonight. Well, remember, we're taking off next week for Cup and Truck this evening when it's all said and done, and then we'll reset things here. But we'll unveil those 8 drivers that'll be running for a championship, continuing for a title after tonight here at Texas. Of course, when it's said and done, Tyler King getting the win. We'll grab the top 3 on the podium, and we're going to change things up tonight. So Jason Rockefeller is with Dennis Moore, Iowa winner and 3rd place tonight here at Texas. Jason.
I'll step up and grab him. Dennis Moore, it's Terry Rafford over here. What's up, ma'am?
Hey, how you doing, Terry?
I'm doing pretty good. So let's talk about this race here. You had a commanding lead, right? You stepped out there. What happened that put you in the wall there?
You know what? I think it was just a little miscommunication between myself and Toby. He was on fresher tires. I thought he would stay high, but it came down a little bit. But it is what it is. I'm really, really happy that Tyler got the win. We got a Beaver State sweep here.
Hey, I got to ask you a question to elaborate that. You've now got 3 trucks of 8 that are Beaver State drivers. How excited is that, Dennis? And plus, you got a win at Iowa. Stephen O'Hare got a win at Auto Club. And Tyler King gets a win here tonight at Texas.
Yeah, I mean, the 4 of us, including Paul Newton, are all Beaver State. We're going to be good in the playoffs. I'm excited for the next round. Vegas, we had a great set. Dega is kind of a crapshoot. You never know what's going to happen. But then we got Dover. I mean, I won Dover last race, so I'm really excited for the next round.
Well, it's good to hear. We get to Vegas, we'll know who to circle. We'll know who to circle at Dover too. But let's wrap this into thinking of the people that put that truck here on this track. But you talked about the tracks looking forward to coming down the stretch. Can we see a Beaver State machine go to victory lane in the championship?
Oh, absolutely. I think the next 3 races really play into our favor. We're all consistent drivers, and we all have wins. I mean, Beaver State alone has 10 wins this year, so I'm really looking forward to the next round.
Well, listen, bud, we'll let you go. Dennis, before we let you go, man, thank your sponsors and enjoy the week off for sure.
Yeah, first off, I want to thank Ryan Bloom and Kevin Smith. We kind of created a little alliance here, and working on setups, just try to beat these other guys that have, Rotopro setups or whatever. And it seems to be working. We got a bunch of wins here at the end of the year. I want to thank you guys at LSRTV, everybody in Northwest Racing Series, Nicole and Brian Photography, and More Speed Setup Shop.
Dennis Moore, one of the drivers of 8 that will be running for a championship. And again, we will unveil all of that during our post-race wrap-up after the interviews here. Let's go down to the runner-up of the race, driver of the truck, number 41, winner at Auto Club, Stephen O'Hare. Stephen, second. Again, another solid run for the Beaver State clan. And I know that you're already excited because you know you're going to the championship 8.
Yeah, I feel for Dennis. He he had the field whooped there, but great for Beaver State Racing. Super happy for Tyler. I I was super loose, and I didn't know Dennis was having that much trouble, so that kind of came as a surprise. But you know what? For Beaver State to sweep the podium here, that's a pretty darn good feeling.
Well, you talked about the sweep there, and can you do this anywhere else?
Oh yeah, like I said, we're trophy hunting. So we let one get away from us in this round. We'll regroup, and we are more than prepared for the round coming up. So
should be exciting, and it should be pretty intense, no doubt about it here. Your take of this race, by the way, Stefan, definitely nothing like these tracks that you've raced at. Obviously, you cannot say that Auto Club is anything like Texas, but it just seems like the last couple of weeks, you and the Beaver State clan have just been gelling and getting better and better and better. And this is exactly what y'all been wanting to do for the last couple of years.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think I think really what we were lacking previously was just consistency. We'd get one of us would get caught up in trouble or have a bad race. And I think with the practice and the amount of work that Dennis puts in with the more speed shop setups and just gelling together and practicing and getting in those laps has helped us all tremendously kind of rise to the top. So, yeah, we're ready to take it to them.
Sponsors, buddy.
I got to thank Nicole Bryan Photography, American Touch Up, certainly More Speed Setup Shop, everybody at Beaver State Racing. It's a great group of guys, and really grateful for that. Got to thank Northwest Racing Series for putting this on for all of us, and you guys at LSRTV for allowing everybody to watch it.
There you go. There's the thoughts of the Auto Club winner. He will advance, no doubt, into the round of 8 when it's all said and done. The 41 of Stephen O'Hare winner tonight. Again, to victory lane we go now. And the driver of the number 21, another Beaver State Racing entry. I know this has got to be special for you. Tyler King up against the wall, back against the wall, number 10 seed. You did exactly what Raz or Anderson needed to do, and that is win this race. And that's exactly what you've done, man. Congratulations to you.
Yeah, thank you, Wesley. First of all, thank you to Dennis and Ryan Bloom for putting all the work into the setup. We got together yesterday, put in a lot of laps, working on draft setup, and we got an awesome piece. Dennis and Ryan worked on it a little bit more overnight, it seemed like, and we had a new update, and yeah, super fast. I didn't like having my back against the wall at the start. I just wanted to have a nice, clean race. We were sitting pretty there, top 3. I was happy running in 3rd. I was just saving my stuff, and then I heard Dennis come across the radio saying he got in trouble, and I was like, all right, I gotta go. It's like I seen Stefan kind of sliding off of turn 2 quite a few laps before that, so I was like, all right, I think I got him. And yeah, with like 5 to go, he started slipping up a little bit more, and I was like, I gotta run. And I was like, stay high, buddy, please. And he did, and I got around both of them in the corner, and yeah, took the lead and got the win for Beaver State. Big night for us.
Well, did it? How fun was it racing a teammate coming down there, knowing that you potentially did not have to win this race? Based off of where Chris White was in this whole event, you were ahead of him majority of the night. So, what was it like racing Stefan there? Did you think he would make the move to the outside when he started closing on you?
Yeah, I mean, Stefan and I, we've been best friends for 20 plus years. We've always been into racing together. We built mini stocks and worked on modifieds, and this is basically where we always wanted to be. We want to be on the real track, not the virtual one, but we want to be racing each other for wins, and we've been doing that this year. We've been running nose to tail several times. I was telling him that before we got racing for the lead. It's like, hey, buddy, it's like, all right in your bumper again. Here we go.
Got to ask you this question, Tyler. Man, first win this year. I know this has got to be excited for you to get a truck win, and it's got to be excited now unofficially that you've got all 4 of 8 drivers in the playoffs that are part of the Beaver State Racing. Who do you pick to win the title here?
Yeah, if you would have told Stefan and I, 2 years ago that we would have, 2 awesome teammates in addition to ourselves, and we'd be fighting for championships and winning races every single week, we would have told you you're crazy. But I think we got a really good shot. Stefan is 2-time back-to-back defending Las Vegas winner. We're going to work really well at Talladega. We won, Dover earlier. We should have won last year. Phoenix is a question mark. And then, yeah, Homestead. Dennis is very good there, so I think we got a good shot.
Man, it should be exciting and it should be fun. Before we let you go, thank your sponsors, Tyler. Man, enjoy the week off next week, by the way.
Yeah, thank you, buddy. Thanks to you, everybody at the LSRT that puts on the show. Sean, Jeff, congratulations on the win, buddy. Thanks for everything you guys do. Everybody in the committee that puts in the time. Huge thanks to my teammates. Nicole Bryan, Photography, American Touch Up, and more speed most of all. Thanks, everybody.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is Tyler King when it is all said and done. Jason has left his perch in virtual turn number 2. He has called it a night. We are going to step away. Terry and I unveil the top 8 that are racing for a championship unofficial. I want to let you know that these stats will be updated with, of course, the points from throughout the race, with also adjusted the start of the round of 8, and the regular season wins will also be added. But we unofficially have at least some idea of the 8 drivers. We'll unveil that and more when we come back for post-race on LSRTV, CRN, the Northwest Playoffs. And, of course, the round of 12 will now become the round of 8 when they go back to it again at Vegas in 2 weeks.
This is our series,
So many different pieces that you have to watch out for.
where the stakes are always higher,
$300,000.
where virtual meets reality,
How bad do you want it? They're wasting no time getting at it.
where the best thrive and the flawless win. This is the eNASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing Series.
Hey, it's broadcast personality Wesley Outland up topside at one of the great racetracks of the world, the Caraway Speedway. And I'd like to remind you to join us every Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern to 3 p.m. Eastern with coverage of Finish Line, where we talk to everybody from NASCAR to grassroots, like right here at Caraway Speedway. Carolina's Fox Sports Radio affiliates, iHeartRadio, and on the Community Radio Network at 87.5 FM. And remember, thanks to Live Sim Racing Productions, you can actually see the guest panel, ask their questions, get interactive with us with comments, and so much more in our chat box. Finish Line every Wednesday. Join us every week. All right. Jason, well, at least this time we don't have to see his face, Terry. I don't, He's going offline, and I'm having a bad hair day. I need to get a haircut. Welcome back to our post-race wrap-up show. Man, my hair, I've been pulling my hair out. How crazy this race was, Terry. It was wild. Such excitement, such fun. And when it's all said and done, it is, of course, the Beaver State Racing drivers. And I will say this, Terry, I didn't even think about Tyler King. No offense to him, but I was thinking about guys like Cole Rass, Caden Anderson, who have done really, really good this year. Super friends coming in, stinking up the show, pardon the pun. And when it's all said and done, Tyler King, Stephen O'Hare, Dennis Moore, 3 out of 4 wins in the playoffs for Beaver State drivers. Oh, and mind you, the guy that normally does good on road courses, Paul Newton, he's going to go in. 4 out of 8 are Beaver State drivers, Terry.
Well, they say when the playoffs light up, everybody elevates their talent to another level, and that's what Beaver State's done, is they've really elevated it. I mean, you talked about all their teammates that are up here. I mean, Paul Newton, it's a top 10 finish, kind of struggled a little bit towards the end, had a little bit. But we talked about it to start this show when we looked at the playoff leaderboard, and I said, Tyler King doesn't have to be perfect. He just has to be good enough. He has to be better than Chris White.
That's right.
Well, Chris White was good. Well, Tyler King was perfect because he came out here, played the strategy right, listened to the spotter, heard his teammates say, hey, I'm in trouble. And he was like, I've got to make the move. Stay high for me. He goes low. He takes the lead. He takes the win. 1, 2, 3, 8 or 9. 1, 2, 3, 8 is where they come out here this afternoon. I think that shows you the level at where they're at. 2 weeks to prepare for Vegas, where, oh, yeah, by the way, they're the defending winners of it. So
that's right.
Not a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Every race we go to, they're either the defending winner or they were in the top 3 when we went there last time. There's no slopping that trade down unless you're taking a nap like our buddy over here, Jason, is. He might be sending a tweet.
We are going to take off. We are going to take off next week. We're going to get a reset. Obviously, everybody will be off because of also the Week 13 update. We will reset for next week. We will come back on October the 20th. Well, of course, at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The same for the Cup cars on the 16th. The 16th and the 20th is when we're back here also. Las Vegas, Talladega, Dover, Phoenix. Take your pick there, Terry, before we unveil at least the unofficial 8, not counting also the stats of what they've done in the regular season with wins being added. This is, again, unofficially tallied top 8. They will be updated. There will be new things and structure added. But as quickly as we can get this to us, we have at least the unofficial 8 that are going, thanks to Sean Brightsman, Jeff Stabnow, everybody behind the scenes for the Northwest Series. But I will say this, though. Thank you, Charles, by the way, behind the scenes, for also helping us out with that. What did you want?
Take your thank you
You're killing
back.
me. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. But what I was going to say, though, Terry, is that, okay, well, you do that. Vegas, Talladega, Dover, Phoenix, 4 very unique, different racetracks in all of their mind, Terry. You want to talk about having a chance to run for the Cup? If you are one of these 8 drivers in 2 weeks, you want to bust out quickly, get a win, don't worry about Talladega, and know you're going to Homestead for a championship. But to do that, you got to survive these 4 wild races in the round of 8 coming up.
I mean, you got to be consistent. You talked about it. If you go into Talladega needing a win, it's probably not going to happen. Hey, we got him back. He's done napping. He's not sending a tweet anymore. It was the magic of Twitter. I tweeted
frozen.
at him.
I have 99
no
problems,
idea.
but the camera ain't one anymore.
Yeah, I
He
froze
froze
again.
again.
I don't know.
Never
I don't
mind.
know if everybody can still hear me though.
Yeah, we got
Swindling.
him.
What happened to your camera, man? What is wrong with you? Somebody get up on the roof and give him some tinfoil.
I don't know. I don't know. I might need a satellite. I might need to go up there and put take a kite or something and go fly it and attach it to my roof or something and get some electricity.
Jason, we can hear you, though. Jason, what's your take of this race, man? Obviously, what a dominating performance by Beaver State, and we're going to have one awesome, hellacious battle in the round of 8 playoffs coming up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting. I mean, as I sit here and my mouth doesn't move while I talk, it was definitely an interesting one here tonight. I mean, you saw, Dennis Moore, pretty much dominated the later portion of this race. Got involved in some lap traffic, hit the wall, and then it enables his 2 buddies, Tyler King and Stefan O'Hare, to come through and battle it out for the win. Great race tonight. I'm actually kind of shocked that the racing was as good, considering the fact that, Texas is primarily a one-groove racetrack, and you saw multiple grooves here tonight. The outside kind of worked late in the run, but the bottom was still dominant. But, I think that these next few races, are going to be very interesting here. It's just going to be a matter of who's going to be able to be consistent, because that's what these playoffs implement, is just consistency. Keep being consistent, and you definitely could find yourself into the championship 4 and contend for a championship at the end of it.
Terry, this looks like our crew chief picture for Jason Rockefeller over there. It looks like him on the war wagon there, right?
Hey, we're going to take 2 tires back here and then
and you better pull out one of your tires.
the big truck car.
Terry, I got a bone to pick with you, man. I thought we were in this together. What happened to your green screen? What happened?
I mean, I'll pull it out. I don't.
No, I mean, you're supposed to stuck up tacks on the wall and whatnot. So, I mean, Well, okay, there you are. But you're hiding behind the green screen. It's not supposed to work that way.
Okay, we'll just float the head like this right here. Just wrap it around me.
Oh, wow.
I think everybody's being pretty content. Yeah, there we go. Well,
hey, look. Well, yeah. Hey, no, listen, Terry, this is what you need to do. Listen to me. You take the green screen and you flip it. You flip it up behind you and you hold it up in the air like this, right? There you go. Yeah, man.
Look, I'm just like the iRacing character.
Jason, we're in this together. You're working out now, Terry.
I'm in
we're
this
working
together
out
with my frozen screen. I tell you what, I think Cody needs to make it to where the backdrop for you guys with your green screens is just that photo of me right there. That's
I'm
gonna
just
be
like
the
the
new
iRacing dude.
Oh well. Well, anyhow, it's been.
We can flicker on.
Why are we changing the lights? How come mine isn't changing colors like that?
Yours is
it?
black.
Can mine? Why is mine gray and his is green and gray? What is this? Look at this. When it's live, people. Look at this. The gray and wood paneling. By the way, I want to thank Yellowwood Treated Hard Lumber for helping me keep my wall up and letting me put my green screen in. So
I will put that up for the next race.
Did you just wrinkle up the green screen, Terry?
Oh, I've got an iron.
Wrinkled up.
It'll iron out. Yeah, I got an iron.
Hey, listen, so without a further ado, can we have some music, Mr. Engineer? Engineer, music, please. Play a record, por favor.
Outro
we
out.
Are about to... We are about to unveil... I like the new music. Play the new music. That's a lot more intense.
They can't hear him, thank God.
Guys, I think it's only safe to say... let's follow what's on Facebook, because I really don't trust Dan Lisa if they're saying it's not correct. So I want to let everyone know that what we are getting ready to unveil is the round of 8 current without the reorder based on regular season wins. That means whoever has regular season wins, those wins are tallied into these drivers that have advanced. I will tell you that are in the red and that are eliminated not only in the Cup Series but now in the trucks. Chris White will not race for a Truck Series title. He lost his opportunity to defend a Cup Series title this past Monday. He is out in the number 9 seed. John Audenbacher, what could have been, Jason, I know you were telling the story, Terry, we were talking about it as well, the Daytona Cup truck winner, he is out, number 10 seed. 16 back to 8th. 9 points back to 8th for Chris White. So Chris White, John Audenbacher are eliminated. For Caden Anderson and Cole Raz, it just didn't work out. And those drivers run and quest for a championship are also gone. Super friends, if you will, are now out of the picture for a run towards a championship. And again, we lost them on a couple of weeks racing because they were actually doing real racing obligations, which I totally get that. They still are in the hunt for an opportunity. Cole Raz is for a Cup title, but I don't know about Caden Anderson. All right, so here is the 8 drivers right now that will run for a championship and continue on in 2 weeks at Vegas. Dan West Jr., number 1 seed. By the way, he was the winner at the Roval at Charlotte. He's not here tonight. He watched. Thank you for watching, Dan. He didn't need to be here. Dennis Moore, the winner at Iowa, and a good solid top 3. He moves on. Stephen O'Hare, winner at Auto Club. He has moved on, and winner tonight at Texas. Tyler King has moved on. Other drivers include unofficially with the tally reset, Ryan Bloom in 25, Sean Breitzman in 46, Kevin Smith, and Paul Newton. 4 out of 8 drivers, Terry, as we mentioned unofficially, are Beaver State Racing drivers. What say you, my friend, as we close it out?
They watch out for them later on down the road. Talked about Vegas being fast for them. They talked about Dover being good for them. They talked about Homestead being good for them. The only one that's the wild card, and the numbers are in their favor, is Talladega. So if you're Beaver Sport and you say you need a win at Talladega, you got 4 of you out here. You have an alliance with Ryan Bloom and his team. That's a potent thing. If one of their drivers needs a win, you cut about a quarter of the field in your favor. As long as they push right, I say we might have a lockout Final Four Beaver State.
And when we saw that tonight, by the way, Jason, I want to bring you in if you can still hear me. I know you're in your crew chief frozen picture mode.
I'm frozen.
Yeah, but I mean, we saw that tonight. Dennis Moore smacks the wall. Stephen O'Hare backs away, and he lets Tyler King take it. And I'm not going to say that he gave him the win, but obviously he wasn't as competitive to try to do a bump and run to try to take the win away from a teammate.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, if like Terry says as he continues to make fun of me. You know, he might need to shave here one of these days. You know, but like I was trying to say, you know, I mean, if these guys think that they're gonna play nice, if it is a Beaver State lockout for the Final Four, they're not gonna play nice. These guys are gonna want to go for a title. You know, and Terry's sitting here, you know, trying to imitate the best crew chief. You know, but I mean, like I said, you know, these guys are going to want to compete for a title. You know, they're out here just like everybody else to race, you know, for points, a win, and so forth, you know, for their sponsors, friends, family, whatever it may be. If it does so happen to be those 4 guys, they're going to race their tails off and try to win this title. But right now, for the remaining 8, I'm going to pick Sean Breitzman. You talked about him earlier in the race, saying that he, you know, he's a guy who just kind of throws stuff out there randomly, you know. I think that Sean Breitzman's going to be a guy to look out for if he tries to, you know, take undercuts throughout the playoffs if he needs to. I think Sean Breitzman's going to look out for.
Hey, Jason, you don't go nowhere. You can't go nowhere. You're froze. Terry, put your head on the top of the thing here. Here you go, Terry. I'm me, and Charles. This is the thumbnail for the broadcast. Okay, so we got to hold it in 3, 2. Well, anyhow, yeah, exactly. So, anyhow, Terry, we're going to have fun. It's about having fun. What a great race it was. And, again, the playoffs roll on. I can't believe it. I've said it. I told somebody the other day, 5 races remain in a season that's been close to almost 23 weeks, 24 weeks of racing. We're down to the final 5 races, the final 4 races in the round of 8. And again, if you want to punch your ticket in to Homestead, not Phoenix, Homestead. We race at Homestead for the championship finale. Phoenix is in the wild card of the round of 8 playoffs, but the finale will be at Homestead. If you want to go automatically to the championship 4, and I got to say, 4 out of 8 is Beaver State drivers, they might just pull a rabbit out of a hat of the trucks, the cup cars, the same way. It should be exciting. It should be fun. Jason, your final thoughts, buddy, as we wrap her up and get out of here, bud.
Solid night tonight. I mean, very, very solid race here, you know, at Texas. I mean, you saw a lot of guys, you know, try undercut. I want to give credit to Cole Raz. He did a great job trying to make the undercut and pull something out of a hat. You know, he was all the way back there in the points, you know, and he comes home 5th tonight just a little bit short. If it would have played out right, I think he could have done a great job. But congratulations to Tyler King. Heartbreak for Dennis Moore. But, you know, Dennis Moore is going to know better now moving on to the playoffs. Be consistent. Don't make any mistakes. These next 5 races should be really good.
Terry Radford, what you got, brother?
I caught that pin with my left hand and right hand.
That's multitasking.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
What's your final
That's all
take
I
of the
got.
race? Hello.
Great racing. Great win by Tyler King. Good heads-up move to miss it all. Hope they enjoy their week off because then crunch time's here.
It is, for sure. Northwest Racing Series Cup and Truck Series off next week. By the way, want to remind you that there's really not anything going on next week for iRacing on LSRTV except on Saturday. Next Saturday, October the 15th, and that is the 6 Hours Endurance Sim Racing League Cancer Race for a Cure event at Daytona. 6 hours at Daytona. 6 hours. 6 hours at Daytona. There we go. Like that. There we go. Do it like that. 6 hours, Jason. Put your fingers up.
I can't.
6 hours of the Race for Cure. That is a charity race that we do here, and it's awesome with the Endurance Sim Racing League back up again, and that will be a fun time. And then we come back on the 16th and the 20th at Vegas. Fun night for everybody here. Thanks to Jason Rockefeller in the corners. And, of course, one more final look as we fade to black and show you the track. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Look at that racetrack. Look at that sun. Look at that beautiful nightfall around the racetrack as, again, when it's all said and done, the Beaver State drivers reign supreme. 4 out of 8 in the playoffs. They'll all reset officially. And when it's said and done, Tyler King picking up his 2nd career win in his 139th 9th start. As always, follow us at LiveSimRacing.com, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and at Searin Sports on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Yes, TikTok at Searin Sports, and we are Searin.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We're off next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks in Vegas for a championship of the Northwest Racing Series.